My name is Katrina, and today I am going to do a quick video on how to plant garlic. So right now I am just separating out whole garlic cloves, or I'm sorry, bulbs, into individual little cloves, the little sections that we're going to plant in just a little bit. So I've selected which ones I want to plant based on size. My healthiest, biggest ones will get replanted. My smaller ones have been bagged up and put in a brown paper bag to be put in the fridge for the winter so we can consume them. The best way to store garlic long term is in a brown paper bag in the refrigerator in your crisper drawer. It will last a long time, like a year. So I've separated out all of my cloves here. You can see I've got a nice pile that I'm going to replant in just a little bit. I should mention too that it is pretty late into November at this point, which is probably a little too late to be planting garlic, but better late than never. I am a procrastinator by nature, so I typically wait until usually right before the first snowstorm, which is probably not the best idea, but that's what I do. So this is my garlic bed, which I sort of prepped when I harvested this summer, but obviously some lamb's ear has grown in here, so we're going to get that out, and we'll do a little bit of tilling to get the soil nice and loose. And there's definitely been some deer in here, so we're going to loosen up the soil a little bit and get it ready to plant. So I think I'm going to start with my giant elephant ear bulbs. It smells so good. These are the big ones. So we're going to go ahead and get these guys in. It is actually starting to get really hot out. I'm surprised. It was pretty cold. I think it was freezing this morning. And now the sun's coming out and working, and it is getting warm. Okay, so we have 11 different elephant ear cloves that we're going to go ahead and put in. So I'm going to dig some spots and I'll show you. So here we go. We're going to dig them about 4 to 6 inches deep. So now I have 11 holes dug. I'm going to go ahead and place one clove in each hole, and you want to place it with that side down. So that's going to end up being the roots. So I'm going to place each one in the hole with that side down so the little point is up, and then just lightly cover it up. So I'm going to do that with all 11. Okay, so this is interesting. As I'm getting my bed prepared to plant the next rows of garlic, I found is one that I missed earlier this year. I must have missed one, or somehow maybe a piece of one came off when I was harvesting. And because we've had such a warm fall, it looks like it started to regrow. So I'm going to dig this up and see what we have under here, because it looks like either a clove from earlier this year, probably earlier this year, got left in the garden and didn't get harvested. And as a result of this warm weather this year, it started to grow. So let's see what we've got here. Yep. That's exactly what happened. Look at all these little sprouts that are growing off of it. So we just found a bonus little garlic that we'll be able to take in, and it's not going to do well to leave it here, so we're not going to leave it in the garden for the winter. I'm going to go ahead and dry this one out and probably just throw it in a dinner somehow. Cook it, eat it. Yum. Okay, so I have a bunch of holes dug, and I'm going to go ahead and start placing more garlic into my pre-dug little spots, about 6 inches apart from one another. All right, so I'm going to cover this up with some leaves. So I've covered the whole bed in leaves, and now I'm going to go find some sticks. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back with my sticks, and I just want to show you that you don't want to use, like, this is probably the biggest I would go. You don't want logs, because if you don't get down here and uncover it in the spring in time and they start to grow up, you don't want it to be smothered by something super big. But something like this is what I use to just kind of spread out, just randomly throw some sticks on here. Things with branches are nice because they typically hold down the leaves. So basically just throw some sticks on here to keep the leaves from blowing away. We have planted our garlic for the winter. So now, I don't know if you're kind of like me, I like to be dorky sometimes and say things like, "Good night, garlic. Sleep well. Wake up in the spring and grow good." So there you have it. There's Katrina's first ever video of planting garlic.